What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Eclectic Beard. This go around, we got what is Eurovision? This is another video from Geography Now. We looked at their Germany. So yeah, I know Spencer from Embrace the Suck has been talking about it. I know Favor, she's reacted to some Eurovision stuff, and you know, over here we don't have any like national singing competitions. I mean, unless you want to count American Idol or The Voice, but I have a feeling this is, you know, this Euro being Europe, so like a whole, like a bunch of countries. So yeah, let's see what this is.
Hey everybody, so the next few scripts are almost done being written. We're going to film this week, so that means this is round 2 of Filler Week. I asked you guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram what are some topics you would like me to cover on Filler Week. Last one was the World Cup, and this time it's going to be, by popular demand, Eurovision. By the way guys, I have a little bit of a list because I'm straightening my teeth with aligners. Like that. This is what I'm using. I remember the first time I was introduced to Eurovision was in 2014 when I visited Denmark, and back then they were actually hosting Eurovision. I had no idea what it was, and then when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is a big deal out here. So today we answer the question, what is Eurovision? Explained by the perfect candidate, me, an American. Logic! Now, if you really want to know what Europeans think of each other, don't watch the news or read an article on history. Just watch Eurovision. What is Eurovision? Well, first of all, specifically, it's the Eurovision Song Contest. Eurovision is actually the name of the network in Switzerland that kind of started the whole thing. Second of all, in the shortest way...
Wouldn't you know it, a corporation would start a singing contest and somehow wrangle a whole bunch of countries to join it.
I can summarize it. It's like the longest running, most watched singing competition in the world, held in May with finals sometimes lasting up to 4 hours. It involves mostly all of the countries in Europe and a few that aren't even in it as well. Literally every country in Europe except for Liechtenstein and, no surprise, Vatican City has competed at least once in the competition. Can you imagine a Vatican priest competing in the competition? Who knows, maybe one day. I mean, Europe is pretty surprising. So how did it all begin? Basically, back in the 1950s, Europe had to figure out a way to make everybody cool with each other after World War II. So, no shocker, Europe's little rational psychiatrist Switzerland was like, hey, everyone likes music, so let's do a friendly little singing competition amongst each other to appease the masses. And it worked! Switzerland, the most neutral of all nations, hosted the first competition in Lugano with 7 countries, and no surprise, Switzerland, the most neutral competitor, won the first competition.
That seems a little bit rigged if you ask me. We're hosting! Oh, look, we won! That's a good idea, though. I mean, you know, coming off the back of the World War II and everything like that's pretty good idea. Everybody loves music. Music connects people in ways that, you know, a lot of times just straight up trying to take and talk your problems out can't. You know, you get pissed off at somebody and a song comes on and you see they're bobbing their head to it and singing, oh, they like that. At least you got common ground there.
Since then, it's been going on literally for over 60 years. Slowly over time, new countries joined in. After the fall of the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia, tons of new countries wanted in, and now over 40 are taking part. Basically, each country submits an original song and a singer or group to perform for the grand prize.
Wait, an original song? So it's not one that's been heard. Okay. Interesting. All right, cool.
You know, on the surface, it seems kind of fun, but underneath the whole deal, it's like this whole systematically complex, formulated competition. It involves a lot of math, politics, and strategy. And by strategy, I mean this. The rules are always changing because they always find new problems, but for one, you get 3 minutes to sing and you can choose whatever language you want. However, recently a lot of people have just chosen to sing in English. Belgium once trolled everybody by singing in a fake language twice. And for some reason, Norway once sang in Swahili. Now, because they are the biggest financial contributors, there are 5 countries that automatically qualify for the final every year. They are France, Germany, Spain, the UK, and Italy. Now, you might think because these countries automatically qualify, that might be unfair. So to make up for it, these countries usually send in singers that like deliberately suck so they can kind of make up for the advantage.
But that doesn't even sound good enough to be voted for. Here, we're going to take and we'll take and finance this, but we'll make sure that we don't have a chance of winning. That sounds like no fun whatsoever. That's a troll job. That's a troll job.
Now, how do you win? Well, in order to win, you have to get the points, which happens through voting. The voting system has changed throughout the years. At first, there was a single jury that voted. Then there was a jury in every competing nation that gave a point system between 1 to 8, 10, and 12 points to their favorite performers. Then in 1997, they experimented with the first call-in televoting system. Then that got messy because politics. So in 2016, they brought back the juries and fused the two together so each got a 50-50 say in the point system. Basically, the rule is you can't vote for your own country, but you can give points to other countries. This is where politics usually comes in and why the televoting system got kind of messy. You can really get a sense of who the real friends are. Like the Nordic countries always support each other, the Slavic countries, Greece and Cyprus always give each other like the highest points, and so on. So that's why they had to bring the jury system back to balance things out. To this day, Ireland has the most wins at 7, Sweden comes in next at 6, France and Luxembourg and the UK each have 5, the Netherlands has 4, Denmark, Israel and Norway have 3, and Austria, Germany, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, and the Ukraine each have 2. Otherwise, when it comes to performances, pretty much anything goes. You can wear wacky costumes, use silly props, you can incorporate elements that illustrate your nation's culture or heritage, you can run around in a hamster wheel. You don't even have to use performers that are from your country. I mean,
bro, this looks like an extravaganza like no other. What? Like, that's seriously, that's crazy. Some of the outfits and costumes these cats are wearing, just in these little clips, are crazy. Looks like it's fun though, like to participate and possibly be in like a live crowd of some.
Celine Dion won in the 80s. She competed for Switzerland and she's from Canada. You can take the competition seriously or you can make a complete fool of yourself. And that's kind of the other thing that needs to be addressed. Apparently, from what I've been told, many of the countries that compete in Eurovision don't even want to win Eurovision. As in, they deliberately suck so that they can lose. Now, why would you want to lose Eurovision? Because according to the rules, the winning country of Eurovision has to host the next Eurovision. Hosting a Eurovision is like hosting a little mini Olympics. It costs a lot of money and taxes to accommodate such a huge event that gets bigger and bigger every year. And this is where the infamous troll contestants come in. Every year there are so many with like over-the-top, campy, horribly constructed performances. And it's one of the biggest appeals to watching Eurovision. Everybody wants to see the trolls, and it's almost like there's an art to it. Typically, you can tell if it's a troll if the song is either about partying, dancing, or having fun. Usually played to a very poppy techno EDM track, usually accompanied by over-the-top flashy costumes and props or bad dancing. From what I've seen, Latvia and Lithuania seem to be really good at this. Like Latvia once dressed up as pirates.
Yo, I've got to check this stuff out because number one, I can understand the wanting to take and do troll stuff. That way you don't have to host. Like, it'd be funny if if everybody else is like, nah, we're going to take and troll you, just go around, you're winning regardless. Like, that would be hilarious too. But just, we don't want to win this. Go look silly. All right. Go look and sound as silly as possible. All right, cool. Dude, that is, oh my God.
Lithuania literally submitted this. Surprisingly, they came in 6th place that year. You know, usually there's going to be a bunch of slip-ups and mistakes. Ireland once sent in a screaming puppet. The singing can get pretty intense.
Yo, dude, you got the...
Oh, and the lyrics, sometimes they're just genius.
Alcohol. Sounds like you'd sing. It's a song you'd sing at a
one time
bar.
Finland won with this group.
What? That's stinking cool. They won with that. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, and don't forget, drag queens after winning drag queens. And there was that one time Russia was like, screw it. We're just going to send in a bunch of grandmas baking bread on stage. They actually got second place. In the end, the Eurovision Song Contest is like Europe's complete musical battle royale that brings in the entire continent, plus some other countries that are not part of their continent. Which begs the question, do I think the USA should take part in Eurovision? No, absolutely not. For one, we're not part of Europe. Second, we'd probably ruin it. Like, seriously. I'm very doubtful any European...
Wait, wasn't that an Australian flag? Like, if they could take part, they're a former, British colony, so is the U.S. I mean, But no, I agree. No, don't do that.
Would be ecstatic to see an American in a European competition. We'd be like that really annoying cousin that your friend brought to your party that you kind of politely laugh at their horrible bad jokes.
We'd walk onto the street, the proverbial street there, and everybody would lock their proverbial doors, because
just because you don't want to be confrontational. And when he starts talking to you, you're like, oh yeah? Yeah. Hey, I have to go to the bathroom, but hey, here's Estonia. Have you met Estonia? Yeah. Estonia, US, Estonia. Yeah. Just say hi to each other. And yeah, you two get along. I got to go to the bathroom. And third, we'd probably never win. I doubt we'd ever get many points, if any at all. I mean, maybe the UK and Ireland would throw some pity points, but nobody would want an American to win Eurovision. No. And if by some miracle we actually did win, it would probably start a bunch of protests and boycotts and inciting World War III, 4, and 5 all at once. So for the safety of the planet, I think it would be best if we sat this one out.
I completely agree.
Eurovision Explained by an American. Hope you like this video. Subscribe if you like. Check out Ken on Instagram. He did all the animations for this video. Thank you, Ken. And yeah, stay cool. Stay tuned.
All right. So that's all right. So that actually sounds pretty freaking cool, to be honest with you. Just the concept behind it, why it was started post World War II. And then the way it's grown. And the fact that there's troll competitors, troll songs. Yo, the outfits. The outfits they showed in just these clips, dude. Like, that's... I've got to... I don't know. I might have to take a look at that. Might have to. That being said, hope y'all enjoyed this. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.